What's up guys, it's Kara Corey here, and today I want to make a delicious recipe for you that's no bake. Today we're going to make a protein fudge. So in order to make the protein fudge, I wanted the right ingredient to give it that nice fudgy texture, and what better ingredient to do that than the avocado that I used in last week's recipe for the pudding. So if you guys tried out that recipe, you know you can't taste the avocado in it, and it gives it this delicious texture to it. So we are going to use a couple avocados for this recipe. What we're going to do is throw everything into a blender and blend it up, or if you have a food processor, you can do it that way as well, or if you don't have either of those, you could mash it as good as you can by hand, but you will most likely have some chunks. So the first thing we're going to do is get our avocado in there, and you're going to want 2 whole avocados that are ripe. And if you have a ripe avocado, it's going to be nice and soft on the outside, should be nice and green on the inside without any brown chunks to it. Mine did have a couple brown spots that I tried to already cut out because it's not going to taste very good if it's all brown and kind of nasty tasting. So if it's nice and ripe, should scoop right out into your blender. So do that with all of your avocado, your 2 avocados. And for this recipe too, we're just going to put the batter into a pan. I'm going to use like a baking dish that you're going to want it to be at least 1 to 2 inches deep. This is an 8x8 pan. Honestly, you can really use whatever you want. And we're going to cut this into probably 12 or 16 pieces of fudge. I haven't decided yet. All right, so once you've got all your avocado in there, I'm just going to kind of smash it down on in there. Next, we're going to add for milk, I'm going to use the unsweetened cashew milk. And I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of our unsweetened cashew milk. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons, and if it seems like I need to add a little more liquid, as you guys know, I wait and I add a little at the end. So we will see after we get to blending. Next, I'm going to use some of this sugar-free maple syrup, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of that as well. This is not only going to make it a little bit sweeter, but it's also going to give it a nice consistency. Okay, along with sweetness, I am going to add 1 tablespoon of agave nectar. If you guys want, you could use coconut nectar, you could use honey, or you could omit it altogether if you just want to stick with your sugar-free syrup. Up to you guys. And then we're going to add in some pure vanilla extract. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of this in there. Actually a little less, I ran out, but you're gonna add 1 teaspoon in there. Not a big deal, that's garbage now. Okay, next. For protein, today I'm gonna use the no bake cookie protein, and I'm gonna add 2 full scoops of that. For those of you that are gonna ask if you can sub an alternate flavored protein, you absolutely can. I think chocolate enhances the avocado the best. So I would suggest sticking with a chocolate type flavor, whether it's your chocolate, your creamy chocolate coconut one, any of those. I would stick with the chocolate flavor though. I don't know how well the vanilla would mix with the avocado. Next, I am going to use the special dark cocoa, and I'm going to use 1/3 of a cup of this. Use my spoon. And that's just going to give it those extra dark chocolate flavors that we want. Yeah, well, let's see if I can scoop this in here. Yes, that will work. Making a mess. 1/3 cup. Oops. Lots of cleanup after these videos, you guys. All right, 1/3 a cup of that. All kinds of stuff. I'm going to use some pink Himalayan sea salt and just give it a couple pinches there. And then, last but not least, 2 tablespoons of Splenda going in there. Those should be all my ingredients. I'm going to go ahead. There's a lot going on in there. I'm going to go ahead and blend this. What I suggest you do is to have a spatula on hand, you're gonna wanna stop it periodically, scrape the sides and make sure, keep it blended, make sure it all gets mixed in nicely. If it's seeming like it's too dry, you can always add, I would suggest going a tablespoon at a time and adding a little bit more of the milk. So we're gonna get this blended and we'll see you when that's all blended up. All right guys, so just a few minutes of blending. I stopped it 2 times to kind of scrape the outsides, but it got a nice consistency very quickly and I did not add any extra milk. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop everything in here. Make sure I get all the good stuff off there. Let's set that aside for now. And we're gonna go ahead and dump this all in here. I did spray my pan so that the fudge doesn't stick to it, comes out a little bit easier after putting it into the freezer. It's very thick. So just go ahead, get all your ingredients out of your blender, spread it into your pan evenly. We're gonna go ahead and place this in the freezer for anywhere from 2 to 3 hours minimum, and then we'll see you when it's all chilled and ready to eat. What's up guys? It's been 3 hours since I placed my protein fudge in the freezer. I took it out and cut it into 12 squares. This cuts into 12 huge ass squares of fudge. So totally up to you, you can make it a little bit smaller. Macros are pretty good on these guys. 3 fat, 5 carbs, and 5 protein. I would suggest you guys store these in the freezer. They do tend to get a little fudgy if you leave them sitting out at room temperature too long. So you're gonna wanna cut them up and then whatever you don't eat, store in the freezer. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little taste test. Oh, I'm gonna have chocolate all over my face. That is so good. It slipped out of my fingers though. Super fudgy. The avocado you cannot taste, but it has a rich chocolate fudgy flavor. I probably have fudge all over my teeth. You guys are gonna love this recipe. Please give it a try. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Post below what other recipes you'd like to see. Keep checking back for more.